I know my mic sounds like ass, but just bear with me real quick. So, SUNBREAK is out, and instead of just playing through it and progressing through it like any other sane individual, I decided to spend my first day in SUNBREAK just walking in the jungle, finding all the relic records. But why, Darth? You might ask. Because I could, and I'm glad I did. For those who don't know, the relic records are hidden items scattered around the maps in Rise. In Rise, all of the maps had 12 hidden relic records. Each relic record had a message attached to them, and these messages usually hinted about lore, things like the final boss, and in Rise's case, they hinted towards Crimson Glow Valstrax, the last monster to be added in the game. So, with a new map and new relic records, I was hoping that if I could find them, I could piece a message that could give us a hint on what's to come. So I found all 10, and they follow the story of a guild researcher who's in the jungle studying murals that are no longer there by the time we get to the jungle. And they read, "After fighting through the humidity and countless squalls, I finally found the ruins. Now it's time to get to work. There's a large square at the center of the ruins. It's obviously man-made as it's surrounded by murals. It's a miracle that these murals survive this heat and humidity. I should observe them carefully. One of the murals depicts a large dragon soaring through the sky on steel blue wings. Next to it is a picture of humans bowing and kneeling before the mighty gales its wings produce. Perhaps this used to be a shrine where they perform rituals to placate the dragon." The mural continues. "There are people grabbing spears as if to stand up against this humongous monster. The tribe that created the shrine must have found a way to rebel against the creature rather than remain subservient to it. As I take notes, it strikes me that I may be witnessing the birth of us hunters. I have to wrap up my report and return to the guild post-haste. Rain and humidity be damned." So, the relic records hint about a monster with steel blue wings that can produce wind from its wings and is humongous. I've seen people say that this is probably just a Kushala, right? He's steel, not really blue, but he's steel. He can produce wind, and he's known to be a nuisance in the jungle. But I want to draw a quick parallel. In Rise, we had Mizutsune revealed, one of the members of the Fated Four, the flagships of Monster Hunter Generations. Who did the relic records hint at? Well, besides all the entire deal with Ibushi, Narwa, and Allmother, it also hinted at Crimson Glow Valstrax, which is another flagship of Generations, the same game that the Fated Four came from. In SUNBREAK, we have Espinas, the flagship of Monster Hunter Frontier. Do you see where I'm getting at? The Frontier floodgates, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, are open. And there's a monster from that series that fits every description to the T. SHANTIEN. In the wiki it reads, "SHANTIEN has a body structure similar to most leviathans, with gray scales, jade-colored blunt spines on its neck, back, and tail, jade-colored crystal-like structures, 2 wing-like structures on its back, 2 large horns on either side of its head which also resemble wings, and blue and white fur running down its neck, along the arms and on the side of the tail. When SHANTIEN starts taking the fight seriously and brings a storm, the white on the fur gets noticeably brighter and more spread out. The horns, crystal wing structures, and the tail tips also turn a clear blue, and scar-like marks throughout the body will change color. It has the ability to levitate by collecting, charging, and releasing air particles from the jade crystal-like organs along its body, most notably on the wings, causing them to visibly swell when SHANTIEN takes to the air. So, SHANTIEN is blue. He is able to generate wind from its wings, quote unquote, and while the third descriptor, which is humongous, you can apply it to everyone, like technically every, like Kushala is technically larger than a human being, so he is bigger, but I think humongous is a bit bigger than just large, and SHANTIEN is quite large. He's even given the title of the Heavenly Flying Dragon. So he, even in his title, he is shown to be like a deity of some kind. Which, yeah, you can also make the argument that every single Elder Dragon was probably worshipped to some degree by ancient human tribes. Because, there were these mythical beings that could control the elements, they could alter nature and the environment. So, yeah, you can make that argument, but he's literally called the Heavenly Flying Dragon. So, I think he in specific is a bit more, deity, godlike. But what do you think? Do you think this hints at Shantien? Do you think it's gonna be an Amatsu variant of some kind that's gonna be blue, which, will be dope as hell? Do you think it's just a Kushala thing? Do you think it's gonna be a new Kushala variant? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm terribly wrong? Or do you have an entirely different opinion? I don't know every monster in Frontier. I haven't played the game yet. Just leave your thoughts in the comment. Thank you for watching, and while you're here, subscribe.